Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Laura Ashley-Abraham. What?
And
why are you looking at me like that? Was so funny.
Because I stuck my tongue
and
on
together
before you started.
Oh, that, you know what's funny is that the video is like freezing. The video is freezing.
I know. Yeah, I saw that just now.
Okay. Spirit, move.
We did a reading party,
everyone.
Yeah, we did a reading party. So I still feel I am tired today. I'm not gonna lie. I got this though. I got this. But yeah, we just had a lot. So it was fun though. It was good. And they've been filling up really fast. So that's good too. So everyone, keep an eye out because we're going to be doing more of them every other Wednesday.
Yes. And so today is day 51. And I know 51. I know we've done more than that, but we didn't get all of them done or recorded or whatever. So it's okay. We're doing our best, but that's a lot of videos to do during the quarantine, you know. I'm so proud of us. We've done great. I got a lot of feedback too on the card reading that we did. So that's probably another one we should do and put out there. You know what, we'll do another video and then we can have people ask questions before we pull the card and see what your response is. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, absolutely. Those are fun. I love doing those.
I know. Okay, so wake up, wake up, wake up, people, wake up. That means you too, Tink. Wake up.
I'm awake. I am very awake. I'm magical. You're magical. See, it says you're magical, everyone.
That.
You see little unicorn?
Yeah. Yeah, we can see it. That's so cool. Okay, so Spirit needs to move out of the way so that we can do our videos because obviously everybody, you can tell that Connie's got something going on over there. This is, do your bells, do your clearing. I think it's over there. Move it.
I think hang on, I'm going to do the bells, but I really think because I have my pyramid set up. See, I think I've shown everyone before, but can you see it?
Yes.
Can you see it? Oh, so I think it's because of that. I think it's channeling so much energy that it's a lot of energy. So I may have to take it down, which I'm kind of sad, but let me go get the bells. Hold, please.
Yes, and we are going to, let's do this while we're recording too, is we call in all our angels and our guides that are 100% pure white light and unconditional love to clear this space, clear Connie's space. We ask for Spirit to step aside and move out of the way so that we can record our videos, and we will deliver the messages at the appropriate time when it is right for everybody, and that your person, Spirit's person, is in front of us.
Yeah, definitely. You can hear it. It needs to be cleared. I just did it clearing actually. I really think it's a pyramid. Yeah, it definitely needs. You can hear it. It's not clear. There we go. A little better. Getting better. Better. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to do some clearing spray. Hold, please. Yeah.
Yes. Well, this is good because this is showing everybody what do we do when we have something going on like that. You can feel the energy and you can feel the shift of it, and you know that there's something that is interfering. We know, you can tell. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a negative. It's just residual too from our reading party from yesterday.
Yeah, I felt that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I think that we may not have gotten to everybody who wanted to deliver a message. And usually that's what happens, is that energy will stay stuck and it will kind of feel or stay with us like the next day. And although it's a lot of energy when we do the reading parties because we're expending a lot of energy, and we try to call on, well, not we try, we do. We bring in the energy of our guides and our angels and the people that we're connecting with and we set the intention to that it's not going to be draining for us, but it's still us using our energy. And so that it depends. Every reading party we do is different, and it depends on the people. It depends on their loved ones and their spirit who come forward. But you feel better energetically.
I feel better. Yeah. Now even my eyes were really swollen this morning. You could probably tell. So yeah, there's something going on, but that's okay. We got this. We're good. We got this. Call upon my joy guides and my fairies to, get this. We're good.
I know, and I love that. That was a great example of what to do, and I loved how you used the bells. I have another one. I'll go grab it too in a second to show everybody. You probably have them there, the actual bells.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can use any of that. You can use a clearing bowl, a singing bowl, any type of music or whatever it is. You can even clap, like I was doing that earlier, just with the clapping, and making noise around your energy field, because it clears your energy field.
My shack. You can even sing these. Do this one. As I'm going to sing today. This is a different one. Well, go ahead, keep going. I'll try to get it to sing.
Okay. And it's hard to hear too, just a little bit. We can hear a little bit, which is good. Normally.
Oh, there it goes. Had the wrong end. See if I can. You hear it?
Yes.
Whew, we just cleared everyone. Nice job.
Well, isn't that interesting? And that's what we needed to do apparently, because today, like we said earlier, is day 51, but we didn't tell you what we're going to be talking about. So we're going to be talking about the third eye, which is like, how perfect is that? That's for intuition. So your third eye is connected with your intuition. And if you have some energy that you don't want in your auric field that's blocking your third eye, right? That's the way to clear it. That was awesome. So, okay. So with your third eye, for me, I always see that color as being violet. What color do you associate with the third eye, Tink?
Like indigo. I do. It's a really deep bluish purple. Like this. I don't know if you can see this color. Very similar to this, but like more of a purple. You see that color?
Yeah, it actually reminds me of the color that is in your office behind you, kind of. That it's like a.
Oh yeah, yeah, that, or the color of lapis lazuli, like that, a little more purplish too, but tint to it. But that's what it reminds me of. That's how I see it when I'm clearing my chakras, or if I see the third eye in my mind's eye. When I'm doing readings, and for whatever reason, sometimes that will pop up for someone who's intuitive, and that's how I see it.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. It's interesting for me because I know it says that on card. I have a couple different examples. Like I have a chakra card that I got. I think this was from, I don't even know where this was from. But anyways, and you can order them online too, if you're interested. I know this one I ordered online. It's kind of cool because it breaks down all of the chakras and what they're associated with. And it's funny because it's the name of it, the Sanskrit, is it Sanskrit? Ajna. So yeah. I always think of that when you say that. I've got ajna, but it's not the same thing. It's different.
It's ajna. It's a little different. Kathy used to always say that, so I picked it up. I got ajna. It's like you got that feeling, or like something isn't right feeling. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's different than this one. So because sometimes I'll say it and I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but I just wanted to make that clarification. It's not the same thing. Again, this is connected with your intuition, your clairvoyance, seeing beyond the five senses, the psychic sense. It is connected to, well, the divine principle, it says, is like with the goal, is imagination. It's also connected with knowing, which is that intuition part that some people will just know something. The other part is with seeing. It's connected with seeing clairvoyantly and just knowing something intuitively, that sense, that feeling. I know I've seen, this is so cool. One of the times, and I think we've talked about this before too, with astral traveling, it's connected with your third eye. So for me, one time I was waking up and I literally saw this cone thing come out of my third eye and project outward. And I was traveling through time and space. And if this has ever happened to you, you'll feel it in your body, because you actually literally will feel like movement. I don't know how to describe it, but it literally feels like movement. And that's what was happening. I was like, oh my gosh, it was so cool. And as soon as I put my attention and focus on it, like, where am I going? What's happening? It starts to go away. But if you can let it just happen, then, and have the experience, it's really, really cool. So I don't know how to make it happen. For me, it just happens automatically or naturally. And then, so the physical properties are associated with the third eye too, have to do with the nervous system. And it talks about, again, the hypothalamus, which we've talked about that before too. And the pituitary gland in your eyes. And it's connected with Jupiter, the planet Jupiter. Yep.
That makes sense, because it's also connected with the sun. So that makes sense.
And it says here too, the crystal is amethyst also. It's connected with lapis and amethyst. So it could be both, but it does show on here more of a blue color. For me, I, for whatever reason, associate it with a violet, and like you said, like a bluish color. So it's kind of like, for me, it's almost like the crown and the third eye, the colors are similar, but that's just me. So listen to your own intuition and find what works for you. Go ahead, Tink.
No, this is the lapis. So if you want to increase your intuition, you can use this one. And this is the color that I see for the third eye. This is it. So for me, this one works really, really well for increase, like if you want to connect with loved ones, and or even if you just want to do it for your daily life, if you want to. Oh, she's flashing something over there.
Sorry, go ahead. No,
okay.
That's the amethyst. So that's like the color that I see, and it does almost have like a little bit of a bluish kind of tint to it, but it is more of the purplish color. So, and that's usually associated with the crown chakra, but I just wanted to show everybody the amethyst.
That's a pretty, yeah, I like that. And it's also, yes, the pituitary gland, which the pituitary gland is relates to your intuition as well. So it'll help to stimulate your pituitary gland. Also your left ear, which I thought was interesting, your left ear. I receive information from my left side. Sometimes I will look up to the upper left. That's how sometimes I receive it, or I'll close my eyes to receive information, but I always receive it coming in from the left. So people think their loved ones are over to my left because I'll look to the left and say thank you, or I'll talk or whatever when I'm channeling, but it's just because that's where I receive it. So it's really related to your senses, your sense of smell, your sense of sight, your sense of hearing. So that's why it's your third eye is relating to your intuition, but really it's also your throat chakra too, your throat chakra. So if you didn't listen to the throat chakra, listen to that one too to help clear that one, because that's if you want to increase your intuition, because it's about the communication. So it's plays a good part in that. And then there was something else I was gonna. Oh, I thought this was really interesting too, because it's that sound of the and when you do that, that M, again, the tip of your tongue goes to the roof of your mouth. that's what helps to stimulate your pituitary gland and open up your psychic senses too. So it's directly connected to that, which is the sound of the universe, the sound of God, the sound of oneness. It brings everyone together, and it's for creation. So if you want to create and think of it, it's your, you know, your sight. What do you see? What do you see your future for? So kind of think of those things when you're working on your third eye. But when you do that sound, that will help to think of what it is that you want to create as you're doing it too. I think that's about, I know there was something else. Wisdom, we talked about that. Your sixth sense, we talked about that. So it's interesting. If it's overactive or excessive, someone can be over analytical. You're analyzing too much instead of letting things be in the flow and using that right creative side. It's almost like they're in the left brain too much. This one is for the lower brain. But if you're into the left side of your brain too much, which is logical, analytical, this can help balance it out when you balance out this chakra to help open up actually the creative side too, to kind of, so that one's not taking control or taking over. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense. A couple of things that when you were talking about, which those were really good points that you were highlighting on, is that people will see your third eye as like a literal eye opening. So if you want to increase your intuition or your awareness, just close your eyes and just think about putting your focus on that spot in the center of your forehead or between, you know, your two eyes, literal eyes. I guess it would be above. It would be like right here. So, and just visualizing or seeing a eye open up. And part of it too, I think that some people can be really afraid to do that or to focus on their psychic abilities. There's a lot of fear associated with that because people will think, well, if I focus on that, what am I going to see? What's going to happen? And do I really want to know that type of a situation? So just remember, you can set the intention of what it is that your guides and your angels will be bringing forward for you. If you are afraid and you don't want to see future events, you can set the intention, you know, I don't want to see anything negative associated with anything in the future, or I don't want to know that. I want to know what I can do or what's for my highest and greatest good. You can focus on that, but setting the intention when you do that is going to be really helpful. I know that there are people who will have premonitions that is associated with your third eye. And if it's for your highest and greatest good to know, that's why it's going to be being brought forward. I have a lot of premonitions, which is really interesting because a lot of times I'll be like, oh, you know, I had the feeling that that was going to happen. For me, that's kind of how it works, but that's associated again with your third eye. So, and I was looking on the chart here too. And this is the one, well, it's also associated with the symbol. It has a 3 in it, which again, that's my favorite number. That one in the crown chakra too. It reminds me of like that Om symbol. I think that is like the Om symbol. Well, that's the crown chakra too, isn't it? Is that what that is, Tink?
Well, the symbol for the throat, the symbol for the third eye is the circle and descending triangle.
Yes.
And well, yeah, but inside actually is the Om symbol that they're putting in there. But it's also for the crown chakra as well. But because that Om is a sign that either doing the Om or the Aum for that, yes. You're absolutely right.
On here it says the planet associated with this is the sun, but on the other chart I have Jupiter. So,
well, sun's not a planet though, that's why. It's relating to the actual sun, but the sun isn't a planet.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, because I was confused. I thought maybe that was a mistake on here.
No, I think it's accurate because Jupiter is like expansive, which so is the sun. So to me, they're kind of very similar in their energy.
Got you, yes.
It's active, it's motion, it's putting things in motion, it's creating. So that those are all ones, they're all symbolic or attributes of the sun and or Jupiter. So I actually think it's both.
It's also associated too with, I think I had said this earlier, with imagination. And that's something that I've noticed a lot of people who are very analytical, who are, is that considered left brain?
Analyticals, yes, left brain, right side's creative. So that's where your imagination comes from. So good point.
It's so funny because I mix those two up and I'm not sure why I do that, right and left brain of what they mean. So I know. Anyway, the imagination though, it's when you're trying to connect, or when you want to meditate, when you do any type of connecting and you want to tune in, you really do have to use your imagination, and you do have to get comfortable with that. It's part of the process. And your imagination is what creates. That's where you are using that part of yourself. Your third eye, you're seeing. When you're closing your eyes, you're seeing. Practice that and notice if you sense anything, or you feel anything, or you see colors. It took me a long time to be able to see colors, and I was so frustrated because I was like, I don't see anything. I'm closing my eyes and all I see is black. One day that shifted and I started to see color. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I can see color with my eyes closed. And one time too, I had a dream. In my dream, my eyes were closed, but I could still see. It was really weird. In my dream, like I was watching TV and there was something scary on the TV. And in my dream, I closed my eyes, but I could still see what was happening on the TV. It was so weird. But the reason I had the dream was because it was telling me that my intuition, even if my eyes were closed, I could still see what was happening. Or it was like a warning type of a dream, and they were telling me that I needed to pay attention and to keep my eyes open and not to close my eyes, and because I didn't want to see whatever was going on. That was the point. So it wasn't necessarily a scary dream, but it was really interesting because I knew what they were trying to show me was I have the ability to see things, and that I have that sixth sense. And everybody has that ability. Every single person has the ability to tune in and receive intuition. And part of it is using and developing your third eye. It says on here, the seat of intuition and direct spiritual vision, which is what that's associated with. It is here that we see things through our third eye of intuitive knowledge. The opening of the third eye corresponds with spiritual awakening. It is the chakra of forgiveness and compassion. Interesting. So of forgiveness and compassion. I'm surprised that it's for forgiveness, but when you think about it, you know, you're having to, that's part of your intellect too, part of your knowing, part of sensing, and part of feeling would be connected with that chakra.
I would think they all would be, because to me that's more the heart.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see where, because that's the third eye is part of your all-knowing, or seeing the bigger picture of things, mm-hmm. looking above, being able to see above. So maybe it's about being able to see above situations and realizing that you're placed in experiences for a reason, that it's not personal. Mm-hmm. So by developing that sense and being able to see things from above, it's funny because they're bringing forward giraffe. How, you know, when we see in readings giraffe, for people who are too much in it down here, mm-hmm. and they need to be able to see things from a higher perspective. So that's what it reminds me of. But I can see where it can be, but I can also see where they all can be relating to forgiveness and compassion, even your crown chakra, which we're going to talk about with our next chakra, because that's about being connected to spirit. When you're connected to spirit, you are that unconditional loving Christ consciousness feeling. And then your solar plex too, and your emotional, all of those, and your sacral, that's feeling. So it's, I can see how they all could connect with that. They all really kind of coincide. I think they probably can all be associated with almost all of everything that we're talking about in some ways. It would just be more of what's the prominent aspect or thing that it really stands for. But I mean, I can see definitely how it's connected.
Absolutely. Well, and it's, as you were talking, there was a couple of things they were showing me. The one exercise that you've had people do where they see the ball, you know, closing your eyes and visualizing that was one of them. And I'll have you tell everybody that one, because it might be a good one to practice for everybody to really tune into your intuition if you want to. But again, don't have the fear of it. Setting the intention and saying, you know what, angels and guides, I want to open up my third eye. I want to see what is for my highest and greatest good. Help me with my intuition. That's a very simple way of being able to say that. If you want to expand that and you want more intuitive knowledge and information, say that. Talk to your guides. You know, I'm the one of the mantras on here is I am open to inner guidance and wisdom. Word it how it works for you. But for me, I was all in. I was like, give me everything. I want to know everything. You know, I was reading books and I still do. We both of us still do. We're constantly reading. We're constantly learning more and more and I want to see, I want to feel, I want to hear, I want all of my senses. I want my angels and my guides using all of it. I want spirit being like very, very clear with us, telling us very unique and different things about their, you know, how we can deliver messages to the people when we do readings. They did great yesterday too. They brought forward a lot of really cool stuff for us. So they use all of our senses, but when we're tuning in and we're actually seeing, when we say seeing, that's what we're doing with our third eye. We're not literally seeing, we are sensing or feeling. Sometimes we do. If we close our eyes, we might see an image of a person. I've seen, when I close my eyes, somebody's hair, they'll show me, or I'll see an aspect of what they look like. And spirit has to use their energy. They have to conserve. Thank you. The word is conserve. They have to conserve their energy. So instead of showing us their whole body, they might show us a part of their body that is important. And that's how we're seeing it, is through our third eye. And it's more of that sensing and that feeling, or it's like a quick image in our mind's eye. So what they were showing me too to talk about was with my spiritual experience is I went to go get a reading, and Reverend Diane, she had told me to come back home the next day and look in the mirror to be able to see my aura. And so this is something you can practice because this is associated too with your third eye. So if you want to be able to see your aura, what you would do is look in the mirror and look off to the side. You wouldn't look directly in your eyes, but look off to the side and continue to hold that space or look at your third eye and in the mirror as you're doing that, but allow your outer vision to start to see and notice if you see a white light or if you see any color coming in. You want to do that for probably at least 10 minutes to keep trying. It might happen right away and it might take more than that. For me, it took a while. I had to keep looking, and you want to let your eyes go out of focus also so that you can start to see that. And that will also develop your third eye and it will develop your intuition. So that's a good place to start. Go ahead, Tink. Share it with them if you want that one.
Yeah. Well, your intuition is right intact there, because I was going to talk about the mind's eye, how it pops up. And that's exactly how I see it. I don't see spirits looking physically at them. I might see something out of my peripheral vision, and that's what it's about. It's sensing subtle energies, but it's really about the peripheral vision of it. You might even see, I know a lot of people are probably seeing this, well, they'll see like a cobalt blue speck out of your peripheral vision, or little sparkles. Little sparkles are fairies, but they're really tiny and they're really sparkly. And then the little bit larger ones are more angels, like the orbs. But Archangel Michael is that cobalt blue, and I'll see them out of my peripheral vision. But whenever I look, it goes away when I try to look at it. So I'll actually hold that gaze as long as I can out of my peripheral. And again, that's exactly how I see spirit, is once in a while, if I close my eyes in my mind's eye, I can see aspects of them too. I might see a color of their hair. Keep in mind too, those of you who are doing readings, especially mediumship readings, if you see someone, spirit will present themselves, loved ones will, how they looked and felt the best. So you may see an image and the person may say, no, that's not my loved one. Keep that in mind, because it's very important, because that's how they, for whatever reason, sometimes that's how they present themselves. My mom actually did that, where she was telling me about Kathy's sister, and she described her. I'm like, that's not Phyllis. Well, then I went over to Kathy's house and I saw a picture of her when she was younger, and it was Phyllis. It's exactly how she described. So it was when she was happiest, though. It was when she felt her best. So keep that in mind too. And it's interesting because you mentioned Reverend Ann. She's the first one I was actually able to see an aura on. She was talking and I could see the white. Most people are going to see the white physical body around the person. That's the easiest to see. You and I can now both see colors in the aura, and actually we're going to be doing a workshop on how to sense and see subtle energies too. So that'll be coming up in one of our future workshops and classes. One of the things that you can do to help open up your third eye, so to open a chakra, you want to go clockwise. To close it, you want to go counterclockwise. I don't actually do that. I used to when I first started working with chakras and Reiki. Now I just have the intention, because I don't want to open or close something that maybe it needs to be open, or maybe it just needs to open a little bit. So my intention is I let Reiki or the energy open and close the extent that the person needs it. But if you're feeling like you're blocked with the chakra or it's closed, you can always do that. Now, keep in mind though, if I'm doing this, it'd be opposite if I'm doing it on myself. I can actually feel my hands are already like, okay, time to work. They're already heating up. So I can feel the heat. It took me a while to feel the heat too, by the way. Those of you who don't get discouraged. It took me a long time. It took me years to be able to actually feel something. And it happened one day when I was actually doing self-Reiki on myself, self-Reiki on myself. I was doing Reiki on myself. And I was basically went over my face. I could feel this heat. I thought it was the sun shining on me. I was so flippin' excited to see that it was actually my Reiki. I was like, yay, I can feel. But anyway, so just kind of go like this. I actually I will physically rub it because for a couple of reasons. It helps to stimulate it. And by doing this, and just maybe I like to count to 21. It's a good number for me. But when you do that, it helps to open it, but it also helps to loosen the muscles around that. What do they call them? The fro lines? Is that what they're called? It will help to loosen it. So if you do this every day, because it's all just a muscle, those deep lines there. So not only are you stimulating your third eye chakra, but you're also making yourself look younger as we go. I know we're all soured.
I'm like, okay, let's get going.
I know, it is true. You can tap it too. Tapping, count for 21 times, tapping it to help stimulate it as well. And it also helps to stimulate your pituitary. Woo, mine's like it's numb right now. It's so cool. I can feel it. That's awesome. So anyway, that's another exercise that you can do. And do this before you do the exercise that we're going to do right now. So everybody just kind of close your eyes. Let me do this. And all you're going to do is outside of your right side, from your right eye, you're going to envision, you're still going to be looking forward and your eyes are closed. You're going to envision, but you're going to start with you're going to go through all the colors of the chakra or all the colors of the rainbow. And it's going to be a red ball. If you have trouble visualizing, picture something red like an apple. That was the easiest thing for me to do. And it comes from your right side. And you're going to just picture this apple coming from your right side all the way to the center of your eyes. And now it's going to go off all the way to the left eye and to where you can't see it anymore. Now next color is orange. So maybe you picture an orange, an actual one. Coming from your right side. There you go. There goes the orange. It's rolling, rolling, all the way up to the front of your vision, all the way out to the left, so you can't see it anymore. It's kind of like a little straight line. Next, you're going to do yellow. Maybe it's a lemon, or the sun. Maybe it's the sun. And the sun would be great since it's connected to your third eye. So let's picture the sun coming from your right all the way, that yang energy helping you create. My right hand is actually just buzzing right now, going all the way through, all the way to the left. You can't see it anymore. Next is green. Maybe it's green grass. Maybe it's 4-leaf clover, whatever it is you want to see that's green. It's coming out. Maybe it's a lime, all the way into your center of your vision, all the way out to the left. And there it goes. Can't see it. Next is light blue, which is your throat chakra. And come from the right. Maybe it's the sky. You see the sky coming through all the way down, across your your vision, all the way out to the left, and it's gone. Here's our third eye. So what's indigo or purple, whatever you want to envision it, doesn't matter. Your intention rules. You can't do this wrong. Coming from your right side, all the way across, center of your vision, and out your left. Next is purple. Maybe it's amethyst, that beautiful amethyst that you saw. Maybe it's grape, whatever it is. Coming from your right, across your line of vision in the front, and all the way to the left. And even with your eyes closed, you can open them now, we're done. But, oh, I'm sorry, real quickly, you want to do that now? I'm not going to do it now, but you can do this later whenever you have time. Now you want to start from your left. You're going to find it more difficult. Some people, depending if you're left brain or right brain dominant. If you're right brain dominant, you'll find it very easy to visualize, or easier, because it's coming from the right side. Your left side may be a little more, for me, my left side's a little more difficult because I'm not a numbers person, analytical, or I shouldn't say that, cancel, clear, delete. I'm very balanced with the two. Remember, your thoughts are energy too, so I'm putting it out there that I'm balanced. So if you're bringing it in from your left side, you may find it a little more difficult to visualize it. Just take note of that, but you do definitely want to balance it out with your left side going to the right. Same thing, where you bring the colors coming from the left over to the right till you can't see it anymore. But when you're doing this, even with your eyes closed, actually kind of move your eyeballs over with your eyes closed to the right, and then kind of, it's almost like you're physically moving them, even though you're not moving your head. It's just your eyeball, like your eyes, like picturing it coming from the right all the way to the left. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That was great. I was doing that while you were doing that. And I'll just tell you, I don't see the colors with my eyes closed. When I close my eyes, I will see it's still dark, and I'll see a little bit of light kind of coming in. But what I noticed is that with my eyes closed, but I look down, I can start to see a little bit of color almost like blending in. It's very subtle for me. So I don't want anybody to feel like, well, I don't see anything, so I have no intuition. It's not true. I have found, and I've said this before, I see things very different than any of the books I've ever read or any of the other mediums I've ever heard of. I don't know why that is. So just so you guys know, just go with whatever it is that works for you and what you see. I have to, for me, because I think my senses are more of feeling and knowing, I don't see the color, and it really frustrated me, and it still frustrates me because I want to see them more than I do. But that's where I have to, and you have to, really work with your intuition and practice it. Practice, closing your eyes. Angels, guides, what should I see, or what would represent the color yellow? Ask that and see what you get. You maybe, like Connie said, you'll get a sun. So for me, if I'm doing a reading and the sun flashes in, that could represent yellow. So that's another way too to, tune into your intuition. And we will talk more about that, because obviously this is a lot with sensing, subtle energies. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. I'm thinking of all these things that I wanted to share too. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we definitely, we'll do a workshop on this, because there's exercises you can do to enhance it. There's all kinds of things that you can do. So we'll walk you through all of that. The other thing too is somebody may have an underlier of not feeling of being somewhat, even though they want it, they may be a little fearful of sensing and seeing things, or because they may be saying, well, what if a spirit comes through and I don't want to see a spirit, but I want to visualize. Mm-hmm. So one of the mantras that you would want to do, just in case there is an underlayer, it is safe for me to see spirit. It is safe for me just to visualize. It is safe for me to see things, whatever's comfortable for you, but you want to use the word safe. And that will help to develop your trust and make you feel more comfortable and safe.
Yeah, that is so true, because that's how I was. I did not want to see anything. Because I saw a lot of scary stuff first, so I was like, I don't want to see anything. But I wanted to develop my intuition. So set your intention for what works for you and practice it. At some point, what'd you do? What are you doing?
I just almost dropped my water bottle. It's okay. Do you notice that it stopped freezing after we did the clearing and used all that stuff?
Yeah.
Interesting, and I actually feel better. So yeah, it was somebody hanging around.
It's a complete shift in your energy. You can totally see it. So that's why it happened, to show everybody, because literally you can see it, you could feel it. It's a completely different shift, and that's what works.
Yes. Yeah. So everyone, there you go. We don't know what's going to happen in these videos. We just let spirit guide it. We don't talk about it. We may talk about, we're going to talk about the throat chakra, but we don't discuss what each of us are going to talk. We just let spirit work through us, and whatever comes out is what is needed. All right. We good? I think we're good.
I think we are good. And it's just real quick. It says on my sheet here, lavender, the aromatherapy, lavender is associated with the third eye. And that's something I use in the bath too, is the essential oils. I have this one right here. Oh, don't burn my face. I have a candle on them. My hair goes on. Oh my God. Cancel, clear, delete. Holy cow.
It'll save you from shaving.
Oh my God. I don't shave my face.
I do. I use those blades. Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Huh. Well, let's talk about this. So that's another video, okay? Connie.
It's another beauty tip. Right now, I'm just absorbing the energy of the lapis lazuli. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
You look so funny.
It's through osmosis. Om. Om. Go proceed. Don't mind me.
I can't. That's so funny. I love it. Oh my God.
You can meditate like this. Seriously, like lay down and meditate with that on your oh, look at this. I think, oh my gosh, I'm magic. Seriously, check this out. This is so cool. It's staying there. How cool is this? Anyway, keep going. This is really cool. Caught it. Good. Black belt reflexes.
That was so cool. I didn't want to say anything because that was so cool. I love that. Okay. Well, it was all that, whatever you were doing, it magnetized it, right?
It did. I said it. Yeah, it felt like numb or something. So that's really cool. I wonder if I can do that again. Well, we don't. Go ahead, Twink. You keep going. I don't want to.
Okay. I know we have to wrap up because we have to get to the next ones.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is doTERRA. This one is the orange, but you can use the lavender. Put it in your bath. You can, just put that on your third eye, and that will help to stimulate your intuition. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know what you think. People have been leaving more comments on YouTube and answering some questions or telling us some things. So thank you for doing that. So go ahead, Tink. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just continue to do that because we are giving away free readings here and there or different free stuff. So for the person who we don't know what it's going to be, maybe it's who comments the most, maybe it's who's the biggest fan, maybe we don't know. We already did one. So that went really well. I think that's it. So we can get you guys going and start your day. So have a magical day and night filled with peace, love, and light, and lots of intuition.